Imagine calling your parents for help in the middle of the night. You're not scared, not panicking. You just need a ride. You talk to them for almost an hour. Then suddenly, you scream. The line cuts off, and you disappear. No trace, no clues, nothing. This isn't fiction. This is real. Brandon Swanson vanished without a sound. And the last thing anyone heard was that call. Brandon was just 19 years old, a smart, friendly kid from Marshall, Minnesota. He had a plan. He was studying wind energy. He had a future. On the night of May 13th, 2008, he'd gone out to celebrate the end of a college semester. Nothing wild, just a few friends. He wasn't drunk. He wasn't reckless. He was driving home like any normal night. At 1:54 a.m., his car went off the road into a shallow ditch. It wasn't a crash, just a wrong turn on a dark, rural road. He called his parents, told them he was near a small town called Lind. He needed a ride. His parents got in the car and drove out immediately. Brandon stayed on the phone. He sounded calm, sure of where he was. He said he could see the lights of the town, and even believed he could see his parents' headlights flashing in the distance. But they couldn't see him. They were both in completely different places. The confusion grew. They flashed their lights. Nothing. He flashed his lights. Nothing. For 30 minutes, they tried to locate each other, until Brandon finally said he'd walk to Lind and meet them there. He kept talking to his father. They spoke for another 47 minutes. That's nearly an hour on the phone. Nearly an hour of updates, footsteps, soft wind through the speaker. Then suddenly, without warning, "Oh, shht!" The call cut off. No struggle, no cry for help, just those two words. And then, silence. Brandon's parents called him back again and again, straight to voicemail. They drove around all night, retracing every road, shouting his name out the window, hoping for a sign. The next morning, they called the police, but officers didn't react the way you'd expect. They assumed Brandon had just walked off, a teenager blowing off steam. They told the family to wait it out, but the Swansons knew something was wrong. Later that day, his car was found. Not in Lind, not even close. It was near a town called Taunton, over 20 miles from where Brandon thought he was, which means he had absolutely no idea where he was when he called his parents, even though he sounded so sure. Search teams were brought in. Dogs, helicopters, volunteers. Bloodhounds tracked Brandon's scent from the car through fields and down a gravel road. The trail led them to the banks of the Yellow Medicine River. Then, nothing. His scent just stopped. It was like he'd vanished into thin air. There was no sign of a struggle. No blood. No clothing. No phone. Nothing. So what happened? Some believe Brandon slipped and drowned in the river, but the water was shallow. Divers searched every inch. No body was ever found. Others think someone picked him up. Maybe a stranger. Maybe not. Could it have been abduction? Foul play? A robbery gone wrong? But again, no witnesses, no evidence. There's also a darker theory. That something else happened out there. Something we don't understand. People online whisper about shadow people, dimensional slips, paranormal forces. Far-fetched? Maybe. But when someone walks into a field and simply disappears, how else do you explain it? His parents never gave up. They fought back. After seeing how slow the response was from law enforcement, they pushed for change. In 2009, Brandon's law was passed in Minnesota. It requires police to start investigating immediately when an adult is reported missing under suspicious circumstances. No more waiting. No more assumptions. It was too late to save Brandon. But it could save someone else. Years have passed. Still no trace. No call. No update. Just silence. The last words anyone heard from Brandon Swanson were filled with fear. Oh, shit. And then, he was gone. What did he see? What made him scream? Where did he go? Brandon Swanson is still missing. And the questions remain. If this case gave you chills, hit that subscribe button. We explore the stories that leave more questions than answers. The unsolved, the unexplained, the dark. Let us know in the comments, what do you think happened to Brandon that night? This is DarkSide Files, and some stories never end.